Well, militant group Hezbollah is promising to retaliate against Israel after the IDF allegedly detonated thousands of pages across Lebanon and Syria, killing 9 people and wounding nearly 3,000 others. In what amounts to one of the most ingenious inside jobs against the terror group ever, Hezbollah said Israel would receive its fair punishment for the blasts. To explain how this mass explosion was achieved, let's get the latest from our counter-terrorism expert, former ADF intelligence analyst, Shane Healey. Shane, welcome. How the hell did they plant these explosives in this many pages?
Good evening, Chris. So this has been the long con, is an easy way to explain it. So first of all, Mossad, which is the Israeli intelligence organisation, would have had to get some human sources inside Hezbollah. They would have had to start planning operations to change the location where they were buying pages from. Then once they established that, they orchestrated to have between 10 and 15 grams of the explosive PETN put in each device with a remote control that could be detonated through a code at a later date.
That's extraordinary. So this is a plan that may have been instigated not after October 7. This might have been going on for years.
No, my information is it started around February. Now, this kind of operation has been used by the Five Eyes through the whole global war on terror. So in the military intelligence field, it's not a new form of operation. It's just the scale and that it's so public that it's really came to the surface now.
So why does Hezbollah rely so heavily on pages, by the way?
So you'll see recently the strike attacks from drones, and what they actually do, they geolocate an individual using cell phone data. So when you use your cell phone, it pings off towers and gives away your location. And Israeli or, the NSA or other intelligence agencies can use that and go build up what's called a pattern of life. And they can go, between this time and this time, Chris is in this location based on where your phone is pinging. Now, if you don't want anyone to know where you are or what your pattern of life is, you need to get rid of that footprint. But if you still need to communicate, pages are an excellent way to do that. They use radio technology, not cell phone technology, so they don't give away geolocation. But what else they can do, if there's an incursion by the Israeli military, one message can be sent out to 100, 200 people instantaneously. Report to X to get ready to counter the Israeli occupation. So that's why they're good for that. Like when I first joined the military, we used them for a recall. But in the modern battle space, the reason is they don't give away your location.
Okay. If the plan was to take out multiple numbers of members of Hezbollah, it wasn't quite successful, but it has meant that the group is no longer able to easily communicate. That could be what they want too, right?
Oh, 100%. But if you look at on the back of the other success they've already had in the recent weeks, they've killed a few leaders using similar technology. They knew where these leaders were inside Syria, inside Lebanon, inside Iran to do drone strikes. They've targeted some other gatherings of fighters and some leaders. So again, this just puts back their command and control on its heels. They need to start gathering in numbers, which again, when you've got eyes in the sky, drones looking for that gathering of fighters to target them through dynamic strikes, artillery or from airplanes, which is what Hezbollah is trying not to do. This is going to force them to ditch all that kind of communications and start gathering again, which again is putting them above the detection threshold. And
puts them in danger. That's interesting. One quick one. The pages weren't made in the Middle East, which would have been much easier for Mossad to get hold of them. They were made in Taiwan, weren't they?
Yeah. Now, remember, Mossad is external to Israel and Shin Bet's internal. So Mossad have footprints everywhere.
Right.
And they would have already had someone at that location when they started this operation, because you've got to reverse engineer an intelligence operation. What's our end state? What do we want to do? We want to get a paging company to be able to facilitate a small device inside there. You need to get the paging company first. And so you start with that, then work backwards.
I could only guess that the paging company has lost a contract.